Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is a wonderful Thursday morning. Yes, it is. It's a wonderful Thursday morning to be alive, to have this gift of life. This is yours truly, it's Coach Dre, Master Mindset Coach. Welcome to Sound Mind Coaching. Yes, Sound Mind Coaching. A beautiful mind is terrible to waste. Don't waste yours. Don't waste your mind. Your mind. I'm in a psychology class, and it's amazing the structure of our mind, not to go in preach mode, but how God constructed our minds and how each part does something different or has multiple functions of our brain. And so we want to make sure in sound mind, that's what we want to have, because he said that he didn't give us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind or self-control. So there's a lot of things that we have not learned properly through our environment, upbringing, things like that, that has construed how we should actually be thinking and processing life, things like that. So we go through life, some go through life and don't change, don't see how their thought process is wrong. And then some of us, we're working diligently to flush out the old, renew our minds, retrain our minds, and things like that. So today, are you in love or obsessed? This week, decided to talk about relationships, especially towards singles. And this is the one for today. Are you in love or obsessed? I'm going to read from my notes today. Don't get mad at me. So, it should be obvious that there are basic differences between being in love or just obsessed. Do you know the difference between being in love and being obsessed? We can be obsessed with a whole lot. We can be obsessed with obtaining money. So we work. We can be obsessed with social media, constantly being on it, constantly strolling through, constantly, making myself known, constantly, going before the people. We can become obsessed with it. We are obsessed with our phones because we don't go nowhere without them in this day and time that we live in. So we are obsessed with things. We become obsessed with things. But sadly, that's not always the case. Many people find themselves in relationships that they feel are loving when in reality it's an unhealthy obsession. Have you ever been in that place where you were in a relationship and you found out that individual became obsessed with you, or you became obsessed with that person? And a lot of times we can kind of see that, especially when it's time for a breakup. We can see that people are kind of cuckoo and crazy for Cocoa Puffs and don't want to let you go. People have died. Listen to me. People have died. What do we got? People have died because, well, if I can't have you, nobody else can have you either. And then pop, both of you are dead. You know, domestic violence, a lot of domestic violence in that area. Okay. So even when these people are faced with the facts, they often refuse to admit that they are mere obsessed than in love. In fact, you may be one of those people who is obsessed rather than in love. So if you haven't gone completely round the bend, following are some signs that you may be obsessed rather than in love. It's going to be interesting, y'all. Let's find out. Let's examine ourselves in this quick segment today. So, you flake on responsibilities because of a chance that you'll have of running into the object of your obsession. So, in other words, excuse me. So, in other words, what you'll do is you'll ignore some responsibilities so that you can be obsessed in these particular areas. Okay. So, this includes missing work, school, or other important appointments because they said they might call you. So you'll stay home all day waiting by the phone. You'll walk out of whatever you're in because that phone call came. I had a bad habit. And I didn't think it was anything really serious. But I had this thing, well, I'll call you back. Whether intentional, non-intentional, I'll call you back, hey, I gotta go. Maybe because the conversation wasn't interesting, wasn't boring, tired of talking, I'll call you back. So you'll call that person back. Whether you talk to them the next day or a couple of days down the road, that person is upset because you said you would call them back. So it took me a while. To change my verbiage to I'll talk to you later. Because later can mean anytime. But some people literally hang on to the words, I'll call you back. They are expecting what you said. They're expecting a phone call. That's what they're doing. They're expecting a phone call. And then you don't do it, you don't follow through. It does, so it triggers something in them. Glad I've never been like that. Anyway, so you miss appointments, important appointments, or whatever, because they might call you, or there's that off chance that if you stay in a certain location long enough, they'll come in. Why are you hanging around here? Why are you just hanging around? And you're in hopes that you see that person. Obsessed. When you miss commitments just because of your obsession, you're only going to be sorry later in life when you don't even remember the person's name. He said this, and he said he was going to promise me this, or she said she was going to come through for me, this, that, and the other, and you all bent out of shape. You bent out of shape. Sometimes anything can come up. That's my mindset. Anything can come up. If not anything, I'll shoot you a text. Hey, you okay? That's what I did to my buddy at work. Didn't see him. Wondering where was he at. Shoot him a text. Hey, you all right? Stop by my room. Yo, man, I'm here. All right, cool. That's all I wanted. All right, let's go on. Almost done, though. Talking about, are you in love or obsessed? You miss out on things that you love doing just so that you can be available in case they decide they have time, if they have time to call you or want to see you. So you don't even make plans. All your plans are tentative. Well, I'm hoping so-and-so call me, or I'm hoping so-and-so would come by. I'm hoping we'll go out because I know they're not working. And you're so pending on spending time with this person in hopes of, and that person may not even be thinking about you. All right. Some of this might hurt today, but we gotta learn the difference. Gotta learn the difference. So what you're actually doing is putting your life on hold for another person. Don't ever, 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 ever do that. Don't ever put your life on hold for another person. No. Let me say this, and I may get some rebuttal. That's fine. When you are purpose driven, hear me. When you are purpose driven, what do I mean by purpose driven? When you know your purpose, right? When you know your purpose, you have visions of your purpose. Matter of fact, ladies, make sure the man has a vision. Make sure the man has a vision. If he has a vision, he has a purpose. But if he can't even foretell where he would like to be, and it's a realistic thing. It's a realistic thing. and maybe with a possibility of a plan B or even a C. Good morning. So these are the things you want to make sure he has vision. But then, too, fellas, you want to make sure that the woman is not solely dependent on you. Because if you're purpose driven, this is what's going to happen. I'm going off key here. If you're purpose driven and they're not, they're going to interfere with your purpose. They are. Why? Because they're sitting around doing nothing. You're moving. You're aggressively moving, progressively moving, doing the things that you love to do for free. That's how you find out what your passion is. That's how you find out what your purpose is. What is it that you're willing to do, and you can do it without even getting paid for it? I just love to help people. I love to encourage people. It's an innate thing that's inside of you. But if that person is not driven and aiming to do things themselves, they're waiting on you, and they're going to start complaining. You're always busy. You're always doing this. You're always doing that. And you're always doing this and you're always doing that, which is nothing. And I don't need you. If you don't have your own thing and you're flowing in your thing, and we take breaks, I'm not saying that we ignore one another, but when you're both purpose driven, that should encourage one another. That should push. You should push each other. But when that person's just sitting there and they just fumbling around, ain't doing nothing, watching TV, this, that, and the other stuff that you don't even have time for. I love TV. I love movies. I love movies. Love watching movies. And sometimes you have to be careful because you get caught up in a TV show and you watch, but before you know it, you done spend 2 or 3 hours binge watching, or 4 binge watching, and now I'm thinking, man, what kind of time did I waste? Unless it is intentionally scheduled, I'm taking a break. And I'm going to kick back and just let my mind recharge. I'm going to watch some TV. I'm going to watch a basketball game, football game, whatever the case is that you do, but it's scheduled. You know what I'm saying? I'm not putting anything off. And now I'm at the point now that as I'm watching, I'm doing something. I'm still, Teresa, I'm still working. I'm still doing something, unless, we're eating dinner, whatever. But there's things to get done. And you know what? Time doesn't stop. We don't get time back. This is the first day of June, right? And so we're at that halfway mark of the year. There's no way I'm going to be where I was last year. Got to be more productive, got to be doing these things. So, got to make the sacrifice. Obtaining the things that you desire takes sacrifice. And if that other person is not willing to understand the sacrifices, then there's going to be trouble. There's going to be problems. Right? I love teaching and serving, right? So, don't let somebody put your life on hold. And don't you put your life on hold for somebody else because you're waiting on them. Really? So now this may be fine if you're in a serious relationship or are married, but when this person has done nothing to show that you mean much to them, it makes no sense for you to rearrange your life for them. I had this thought last night as I was studying I had some homework in psychology. Excuse me, and I love it. Oh my God, I love psychology. It's very interesting. When you're purpose driven, you are your best encourager. You are your best motivator. And honestly and truly, you really don't need anybody to push you. You really don't need nobody to encourage you based on what it is. Based on what it is. I say for me, ministry wise, from time to time, yeah, that's when somebody will give you a prophetic word about what you're doing or whatever. You're not even looking for it, whatever. You're just doing what you're doing. But the Lord has a way of giving a word to someone, giving His word to someone to give to you, to encourage you and lift you not to quit, keep doing it, da 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 da. But say like individual goals, okay? Like I'm in this certification program for behavior sciences because I loved about the mind, sound mind. So this is what this is going to do. It's going to help solidify my business that I just launched. Okay. It's going to be able to help me help people better. So I'm driven. So the sacrifice of losing sleep or getting less sleep because my teacher is slamming us with homework like crazy. And it's a 16-week course shoved in an 8-week course. So that means that I have to be more attentive to what's due, when it's due, all this stuff. So there are sacrifices. There are sacrifices on top of having a wife, on top of doing ministry, and on top of currently going to work. Sacrifices. So it's squeezing in time and sacrifice. What is the end goal? Because once I complete these 30 credits, to me, all of it will be worth it. All the sacrifice will be worth it. But I can't afford to get behind or take a day off of school, especially when you know how much work you got to do and the reading that goes along with it. So I don't, because I know what I want and I know what I'm aiming for, I am my best motivator. Okay. And watch this, and I'm gonna get back to this, but I just want to give examples. Now, the Launchpad is the program we use. It has all the course in there, the tests, all that stuff, videos, all that stuff. Now, I got my work that was due last night, Wednesday night, before midnight. All the rest of it is due Saturday, by Saturday, June 3rd. But Launchpad from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. is going to be down. No access. So every time I log into Launchpad, I get this reminder. So that means for me, I want all my stuff done by tomorrow night, or at least by 8 a.m. Saturday morning. That way I don't have to worry about not being able to get on, this, that, and the other. And matter of fact, that means that my Saturday is free. And I can wait for week 3's assignment to pop up. So now in my mind, I'm driven. I need to go to church tonight, so I'm gonna go. So it's scheduling. It's scheduling, it's sacrificing, it's purpose driven. And so these are the things. So you need someone that can be supportive, and more, the best part is you need somebody that's going to be understanding. Okay? They need to be understanding. All right? Okay, let me get back to this. Just want to give those examples. All right. All right, so you're only missing out on a lot of fun by doing so, by holding your life for somebody that's not doing anything. So your friendships are taking a backseat to your obsession. When you're obsessed with a person you're dating or one that you want to date, you'll tend to ignore your friends in favor of being available for this person. We understand, and I believe we've all been there. Even when they haven't called or made plans with you, good, Teresa. Even when, even they haven't made plans with you, but there's always that hope. I'm hoping, my friends are doing this. They want to get together. They want to do that. They want to have a girls' night out or whatever. I don't know, because they might call. They might want to do something, and I don't want to have to leave. Come on now. You got to have some me time. You got to have some time for self. My wife has a women's conference from 10 to 4 on Saturday. She going to do that? I got to prepare the word for Sunday. It's always something. But you keep going. You keep going. Okay? And who knows? Maybe we'll catch a movie later on. I don't know. But just saying. So eventually you start driving your friends away from you because they understand you don't care much about them anymore because you're so obsessed with this other person. And sometimes your friends be trying to talk to you because they see you going down the slippery slope. Girl, now you don't have time. Have you ever had a friend like that? They got so obsessed. We talking about, are you in love or obsessed? They thought it was love, but actually they was obsessed with this person. All of a sudden, they don't put you and your friends all up to the back burner. Then watch this. When it doesn't work, now they picking up the phone calling you. As a friend, what do you do? Most of the time, if you're a good friend, you still support. You have to console them, let them know, and hopefully they open up their eyes to see. All right, last part. So if you notice any of these signs within yourself, please take a note how far you have fallen down the rabbit hole. All right? You're not meant to stop living your life just in case someone decides to give you a call or suddenly shows up to take you to dinner. Because if you already made plans, and the people you made plans with are expecting you to be there, and just so happen he or she calls you, like, wow, I wish you would have called me earlier, but I already made plans for the night. Hey, what about, are you free this night or this day, or you free from lunch? Whatever the case is. So we gotta wake up. We gotta wake up. You're not meant to stop living your life. You're not meant to stop living life just in case. Why are you not doing this? Why you stop? Well, girl, just in case. Man, I found, man, she's so fine. Man, he's like, man, but you so driven. You was going to school. You was doing this and all this stuff. But man, just in case, man, just in case. What? What about the other side? What about the flip side of it? Okay. So if it's necessary for you to always be available on and off chance that he or she will call or come by, then it's imperative that you get some help in overcoming your obsession. This is something that could ruin your entire life if you allow it. There's people out there who may not have the best of luck with relationships. Maybe they haven't had a lot of boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever the case is. So when that one does come and they do show interest, you're all in with your tongue hanging out, bouncing like a little happy dog. Or the little dogs that's be on your dashboard with the head going all the way around. You just as happy. Now you're losing sight of things. Okay. So that's why you need to do everything possible to move past this obsession and involve yourself in a healthy relationship with someone that wants to be with you. Heavy D, I want somebody to love me for me. Right? That's what we want. You don't want to be obsessed. You do not want to be obsessed. Okay. If you miss any of this week's about the relationship stuff, we have some good stuff this week. The YouTube page is up. It is live. Actually, we're live on it right now, and on Twitter at Coach Fullwood. You see that there. But what I want to tell you is tomorrow, Free Me Fridays is being successfully single until the right one comes along. We're going to launch off the weekend with some upbeat. Then, be successful while you're single. Don't just mope around. Don't just do nothing. I'm tired of being alone. Learn to love you. Treat you in a way that you might want somebody else to treat you. Take yourself out. Go to the movies. Women, get your hair, men. Well, men, I get my feet and nails done too. So, I get the pedicures, manicures, get all that stuff. But do what makes you happy. Don't just sit around just because you sit around because there's always something to do. Okay? That's what we're going to talk about tomorrow. So I think that's all I have. There's a new date and time for the A team. I know we kind of like been on hiatus here, there, but we're going to get back because I strongly believe in being consistent. So the A team, new time, new day, 7:30 Mondays, 7:30 p.m. Mondays. So join us. There's a new flyer. I'm going to release it today. 7:30 Monday evenings, Eastern time. The A team is back. We're going to be consistent. We had to find out what is the best time for us. So we had to make an adjustment. Wife was out of town for a couple of weeks, yada, yada, yada. And then I was involved in some Board of Education meetings on Wednesdays. Just threw everything off. Those were important for me to be at. So we had to revamp this thing. So when you see this nice, beautiful, colorful flyer, it's us. It's the A team. So this Monday, 7:30 p.m., we are back. Okay, we are back. So with that being said, I got to go. Field day today at the school with all these kids, and it's going to be almost 90 degrees. All right, and also join us Sundays. Join us Sundays, the Gatekeepers Ministry in person if you're in the Macomb County, Michigan area at 3 p.m. on Sundays. But also we are live online at 3 p.m. at the same time. And so there's nothing like building a ministry from the ground up. My God, my God, if you don't believe in what God has called for you to do, you will quit. Amen and amen. All right, y'all. You know my saying, a beautiful mind is terrible to waste. Don't waste yours.